Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This one comes from Clark, Washington. Happy Marvelous Monday, John Campea crew. In a sign of movie-going returning to normal, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 scored the biggest opening weekend for a video game movie. On the flip side, Ambulance scored the worst opening weekend of Michael Bay's career. And Morbius got a stake to the heart, suffering the biggest second weekend drop-off of a comic book movie, behind only Shaquille O'Neal's Steel.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the overall box office?
Shaq holding on to that spot. All right, thanks for sending that in. Listen, we were expecting some big numbers from Sonic. They said like the bottom was probably going to be 50. That they expected anywhere from 65. It exceeded that, came in $71 million.
Yeah.
In still the pandemic recovery era, it well exceeded the opening weekend of the first Sonic movie, which I believe was $58 million. So this thing came out, which kind of proves that the audience had a great time at the first one. They've been looking forward to coming back. And sure enough, this thing came back $71 million at the box office this weekend. Absolutely incredible result for it. But there's some other interesting things here too on the box office chart. So coming in at number one, you see here right now, $71 million. That's a big story. We're going to talk about that more in a second. But there are two other big stories here, as you mentioned. Number one is Morbius. Morbius, which had a fairly respectable opening weekend of near $40 million, it has suffered a cataclysmic second weekend drop-off. Now, generally speaking, you'd like to be comfortable. You'd like to see your drop-off from between 50 and 60%. Anything less than 50% is massively impressive. Anything over 60% gets pretty damn disappointing. I can't remember the last time I saw a weekend one to weekend two 74% drop. I can't remember the last time. I mean, it's happened. It has happened. I'm just saying, I can't remember the last time it's happened. And for them to say that in the comic book genre, the only worst one is Shaquille O'Neal's Steel, that says a lot. Look, this tells us everything we need to know. People generally did not like it. Even though the audience response to it was pretty good. Like the audience said, let me jump over here and pull up the audience rating for Morbius. It was not bad, right? It wasn't bad. It actually had a, 70%. But as we said last week when we talked about that viewer number, remember, the number doesn't always tell the entire story. It's not saying that 70% of the people loved it. It's not necessarily saying that 30% of the people hated it. But clearly, these people did not enjoy it enough to go back and watch it again.
That's what I was going to say.
They didn't like it enough to go back and watch it again. And more importantly than that, they didn't like it enough to not only go back and watch it again, but tell their friends, you got to come with me this time. Because one of the things I love doing with movies that I discover and watch is now inviting other friends to come back and watch the movie with me. And that clearly did not happen with Morbius. So 3 things happened. Number one, people heard the negative word of mouth and they didn't want to go see it at all. So they certainly didn't come out for weekend 2. Number 2, the people who did go to see it were not impressed enough to come back and watch it again. And number 3, as an extension of that, by not going back to watch it again, they didn't tell other people they needed to go see it and come out and watch it.
And number 4, you got people like me who's now wanting to wait for it to hit streaming.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. When there's not enough enthusiasm there for something like this, it's going to hurt. So Morbius, now listen, here's the funny thing. This thing could theoretically still break even because they only spent $25 or $75 million to make it. That means, and they only spent about $20 million marketing it. They should have marketed it more, but still, that means it really only needs to make about $150 to $160 million to break even. And as of right now, Morbius worldwide is sitting at $126 million. So it theoretically, and it's not a big stretch to think as big of a toaster oven this thing is, it could still break even.
You could pull it off.
Theoretically. Whether it will, we'll see. We'll see if it doesn't. But that's not the only story. Hey guys, we want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. So guys, look, my wife Ann and I were both working professionals, so we know how tricky, difficult, and time-consuming it can be to try to eat properly and prepare your own meals at home. And that's why, like over a year ago, we started using HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. I mean, you skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and probably most importantly, affordable. HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need to easily customize your orders online or right in the app. Easily change your delivery day, food preferences, and plan size, or skip a week whenever you need to. HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the exact same quality, and you can save on average over $65 a month when you order HelloFresh instead of going grocery shopping. So guys, I'm telling you, whether you are single or have a family, you are going to love HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's again, HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use that promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. The other story, part of the story, is talking about Michael Bay's Ambulance. And we talked about this last week when the projections came out. And we said, there's a good chance Ambulance makes under $10 million. It made $8.7 million on 3,400 screens.
Man.
Now, there have been some people writing into me and asking me, does this show that action films can't make money at the box office anymore? No. It just shows what I've been saying the whole time. The movie looked like shit. I've been saying this since CinemaCon last year. And I'm a Michael Bay guy. But I came out of CinemaCon last year, like the meeting, once we saw the big previews, I said, this doesn't look good. This just looks like a mess. And I heard some other people say they like the trailers, and that's fine. I just thought the trailers, as a Michael Bay guy, I'm like, this just does not look good. You got some good stars in it, but it does not look good. And none of the trailers made it look appealing. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, this movie is just one 2-hour car chase with zero narrative sense. I mean, zero narrative sense. There are so many things done in this movie that I was like slapping, like just palming, just going, oh my God, come on, do better. Do better than this. But as bad as the trailers looked, I would not have initially guessed it would have made under $10 million. But no, I don't think this is a sign. Look, Shang-Chi in the middle of the pandemic. Now, granted, the MCU name's attached to it, but this big actioneer kind of thing. Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a 700-year-old video game. I mean, it made $70 million. People like action.
Yay!
Oh man,
That's right.
I got a
applause for Sonic.
The Sonic 2 movie, for some strange reason, has been in my head the whole weekend. Like I
want to go see it again.
I really want to. I don't know. I just really like the movie. I mean, it just brought so much happiness.
Yeah.
Just the crowd there, like seeing the fandom of like this small hedgehog was really great. I mean, and I haven't been in a public movie theater watching it with the general public for a while for like an opening night, and it was really fun. Like the excitement of everybody from old people to kids. It was just a good time.
Which, I mean, again, look, watching it at home, it'll still be a good movie.
Yeah.
It's not as good of a time as watching it in the movie theater with other people. I mean, that was part of it, right? Like when things would happen and the audience is cheering, and it's just a good, fun time of the movie. So I'll tell you what, I would have picked this thing to be coming around 65. 71 is a spectacular result for Sonic. Chris, you're seeing this. What are your thoughts? Number one on Sonic, Morbius, Ambulance. What are your take on this?
I'm so happy about Sonic. It makes me so happy because I love these movies. And it's adorable. And I'm so glad other people are going out there. Morbius, y'all know that drop off. I was like, yep, that makes sense.
I didn't think it would be that big. I thought it would be like a 65%. I didn't even think it would be like 74%.
We all know that this is not my favorite thing.
Yep.
So much so that while I was in Santa Barbara, my husband was like, yo, guess what? And hit me with the box office numbers. And I was like, oh, okay. That's wild. I mean, still holding strong though, Steel. Good for you, Shaq.
Yeah, still hold on to that number one spot.
Wow. And then Ambulance, I am surprised it didn't crack past 10. That's surprising to me. Especially after Jake Gyllenhaal's Lovely turn on SNL this past weekend too.
He was really good on it.
He was
yeah.
so good. It was such a fun, weird episode, but it was so nice to hear him talking about how acting should be fun, and I just want to do fun stuff. And it honestly made me go, maybe I should go see Ambulance if he's just having a good time doing these things.
And by the way, he's good. Jake Gyllenhaal's good in Ambulance.
He's a
Him
great
and Yaya
actor.
were both like pretty enjoyable.
You know what? Why I didn't want to see Ambulance is because the movie from the trailers just looks really stressful to me. I don't want to be stressed while watching a movie. I mean, I think maybe car chases, you can leave that to the Fast and Furious franchise. Maybe that's the only thing that makes money now if it has to deal with chasing and cars. I don't know.
I mean, the other thing too is this. I don't know. I never thought about this, but a big part of the marketing, other than hot ambulance girl, big car chase, like that's all the trailer was.
Yeah.
The other thing that marketing really did was emphasize Los Angeles. Like even in the word ambulance, they just highlight LA.
So
in
you
ambulance,
know where
right? It's
you're
like-
at.
So it's like, okay, so what if you're not in LA? What does somebody in Toledo think about this? Like the whole emphasis, this is Los Angeles, the movie.
Well, and does LA act like a character in the way that like
Yeah.
Gotham does in
Only a
Batman?
fake way and pretending like there's not traffic everywhere.
Yeah,
See,
is that
that's why
fantasy?
I was like, this looks like such bullshit. It's so hard to get to work every day.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere. They're not
I
driving
don't want
anywhere like that.
I want my movies to have escapism. I don't want it to be me looking at the 101 on a gridlock.
By the way, Alejandro Mate in the live chat is saying Los Ambulance.
Imagine
Well
people,
done.
Los Angeles like natives or residents, and seeing this trailer, they're like, I don't want to watch a movie where I'm stuck in like an hour every day.
Yeah, that
Like,
would have been a fun one though. It's like just can't get anywhere. Gridlock, honking horns. I don't know. Look, but clearly the big and by the way, should also point out a disappointing but expected result was the best movie of the year right now.
Aw.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. They said it could have made as little as 6, or little as 5. It made 6. But we knew that. We said that last week. This thing's going to make around 5 million. No one's going to go see it. It is what it is. Look, I was shocked how good this movie is. So I'm not surprised at all. Still disappointed. I hope more people give it a chance.
so is that movie losing money right now, or did it make enough money already? Do we know?
You know what? That's a good question.
Because as long as it does, then like, you know, if it's good as you say it is, then I would feel bad if it didn't at least make its money back.
I hope it does. Hold on, let me look it up. Everything Everywhere All at Once production budget. I honestly don't know how much they cost to make it. Okay, so no, it's losing a ton of money. It wasn't an expensive movie to make, but they made it. It says, the report I'm seeing right now is that they paid $25 million to make it. So it has made $8.4 million right now. It needs to make probably around 45 million to 50 million to break even. Maybe even 55 million to break even. So it's going to lose money.
Unfortunately,
And it's the best movie of the year, but
Yeah.
it's going to lose money.
It's one of these movies that probably people are going to find out way too late.
Yeah.
I hope people find it one way or the again. It's not the greatest movie of all time. I'm not even expecting it to be the best movie of the year by the time the year ends. But right now, on April 11th, to me, it's the best movie of the year. So I hope it does well. But again, guys, the big story here is Sonic. Sonic makes $71 million, eclipsing part 1. It just did terrific for itself. What do you guys think about the box office results? What stands out to you the most? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.